Welcome to Holistic Health Conspiracies, Truth or Deception. I'm your host, Dr. Sue Williams from Quantum Holistic Health. In this podcast, we dive into the intriguing and sometimes confusing world of holistic health and wellness, uncovering the secrets, controversies, and conspiracies that shape our understanding of natural healing. Today, we're investigating one of the most debated topics in alternative medicine, homeopathy. Is homeopathy a legitimate medical practice, or is it merely a placebo effect wrapped in pseudoscience? Join me as we uncover the truth behind homeopathy. Let me introduce you to the concept of homeopathy. Homeopathy was founded in the late 18th century by Samuel Hahnemann, a German physician. The central principle of homeopathy is like cures like, meaning that a substance that causes symptoms in a healthy person can be used to treat similar symptoms in a sick person. Homeopathy also involves extreme dilution of these substances, often to the point where no molecules of the original substance remain. Homeopathic remedies come in various forms, including tablets, liquids, and creams, and are used to treat a wide range of conditions, from allergies and colds to chronic illnesses and mental health issues. Now let's look at the historical context and development of homeopathy. Hahnemann developed homeopathy as a response to the harsh medical practices of his time, such as bloodletting and purging. He believed that these treatments did more harm than good and sought a gentler, more holistic approach. Homeopathy gained popularity in the 19th century, particularly in Europe and the United States. During this time, homeopathic hospitals and medical schools were established, and the practice became widely accepted. Now, one of the bases of homeopathy is the law of similars, the concept that like cures like. And it's based on the idea that the body can heal itself when given a stimulus that mimics the symptoms of the illness. For example, a substance that causes fever in a healthy person might be used to treat a fever in a sick person. Homeopathy is also based on the law of infinitesimals. Now, homeopathy involves diluting a substance repeatedly, often beyond the point where any molecules of the original substance remain. Practitioners believe that the water retains a memory of the substance, which can trigger a healing response. Now, potentiation. Oh, goodness, what a tricky word. The process of shaking the solution vigorously between dilutions, known as potentization, is believed to enhance the remedy's effectiveness, even though it's hard to say. The science and criticism of homeopathy. Certainly criticism is in many areas in these modern times. The scientific community is largely skeptical of homeopathy, primarily due to the extreme dilutions involved. Critics argue that homeopathic remedies are no more effective than placebos, and that any perceived benefits are the result of just that placebo effect. They say that there is a lack of active ingredients. At the highest dilutions, homeopathic remedies contain no detectable molecules of the original substance. This contradicts the principles of chemistry and pharmacology, which state that a substance must be present to have an effect. Clinical trials and studies. Well, numerous clinical trials have tested the efficacy of homeopathy. While some studies report positive outcomes, many are criticised for methodological flaws, such as small sample sizes and lack of proper controls. Large-scale, well-designed studies typically find that homeopathy is no more effective than a placebo. So let's talk about this placebo effect. The placebo effect is a well-documented phenomenon where patients experience real improvements in their symptoms due to their belief in a certain treatment. Homeopathy's efficacy is often attributed to this effect, as well as the holistic and individualized approach that homeopathic practitioners take. Next, let's look at homeopathy in modern healthcare. Despite the criticism, homeopathy remains popular, particularly in Europe and India, but it is used worldwide. Proponents argue that it offers a safe, natural alternative to conventional medicine with fewer side effects. And let's look at it in terms of integrative medicine. Some practitioners incorporate homeopathy into integrative medicine, combining it with conventional treatments. This approach aims to provide holistic care that addresses the physical, emotional, and mental aspects of health. And of course, if people didn't get anything from homeopathy and there was no patient satisfaction, no one would use it. But many patients report high levels of satisfaction with homeopathic treatment, often citing the personalised care and attention they receive from homeopathic practitioners. This patient-centred approach can lead to improved health outcomes, even if the remedies themselves are not scientifically validated. As with all medical issues, there are regulation and standards that we have to abide by. Homeopathy is regulated differently around the world. In some countries, homeopathic remedies are subject to strict quality control and must meet certain standards, while in others, they're treated as dietary supplements with minimal oversight. So let's look at some case studies and personal experiences in homeopathy. Let's explore some case studies and personal experiences that highlight the impact of homeopathy on individuals' health and well-being. Firstly, let's look at chronic illness. Many people with chronic illnesses such as arthritis or irritable bowel syndrome turn to homeopathy when conventional treatments fail to provide relief. Some report significant improvements in their symptoms and quality of life, attributing their progress to homeopathy and the homeopathic remedies. And what about mental health? Homeopathy is also used to address mental health issues like anxiety and depression. Patients often find the holistic approach and personalised care beneficial, even if the scientific evidence for homeopathy's efficacy in treating these conditions is limited. What about acute conditions? For acute conditions like colds, flu, and minor injuries, homeopathic remedies are popular for their perceived safety and natural composition. While the scientific support for these uses is weak, many individuals report positive outcomes. And what about ethical considerations and future directions in homeopathy? The debate over homeopathy raises important ethical questions about patient care and medical practice. Informed consent is essential in any type of medical treatment. Patients should be fully informed about the nature of homeopathic treatments, including the lack of scientific evidence supporting their efficacy. This transparency is crucial for ethical practice. And once again, the placebo use. The use of placebos in medicine is controversial. and we will look at that in another episode of this podcast. While the placebo effect can lead to real improvements, it raises questions about honesty and trust between patients and their practitioners. And what about research and innovation? Future research should continue to explore the potential mechanisms behind homeopathy and the placebo effect. Understanding these phenomena better could lead to new insights and advancements in holistic and integrative medicine. Now, in conclusion, homeopathy remains a contentious topic in the medical world. While scientific evidence does not support its efficacy beyond the placebo effect, many patients find value in the holistic and personalized care that it offers. The truth behind homeopathy may lie in the complex interplay between mind, body, and belief. So thank you for joining me on this exploration of homeopathy. Even though I did fall over some of the very tricky words, I hope you forgive me for that. I also hope this episode has provided you with valuable insights and a balanced perspective on this controversial practice. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your support helps us continue to bring you investigative content on holistic health conspiracies. So until next time, stay curious and stay healthy, and it's bye from Dr. Sue.